Breaking news is coming up on Week News this morning. President Donald Trump's national security advisor resigns after a controversy that involves the Russian ambassador.
Plus, an accused killer is set to testify today in a cold case. All the latest details are ahead.
And a popular television show is about to start filming soon in Fort Myers. Not everybody's happy about it, though. That and much more coming up on Week News this morning.
Live from Southwest Florida's news leader, this is Wink News this morning.
Good morning on this Tuesday, Valentine's Day. Perhaps a little jacket as you head outside and maybe watch the visibility too.
Yeah, it's another cooler start to the morning with some patchy fog on the way as well. Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt tells us what we can expect in our weather on the ones. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys, and happy Valentine's Day. We do have, some patchy fog out there. Visibility's around a quarter to a half of a mile. 82 degrees. That is exactly what we had on Monday, and there also will be a slight chance of rain, but very limited in coverage. So sure enough, on Doppler radar, it is mostly dry. It's more in the way of fog that I want you to watch out for. Take a look right now at my location around the Caloosahatchee. We have some of the low clouds, the haze, and the fog. 67 degrees, but I have some as cool as the 50s, so if you do have those temps in the 50s, the light jacket would not be a bad idea. Take a look at Punta Gorda, half-mile visibility, 5 miles at Page Field, 3 at Southwest Florida International. And notice how temperatures are a little bit cooler towards the north with 60 in Port Charlotte, 59 for Palmdale, and 70, very mild, for our viewers in Naples. So for this morning, there will be a slight chance of rain closer towards the coast, in addition to some of that patchy fog and the low clouds. And then as we transition into this afternoon, we're going to try to get more sunshine. Now, by Wednesday night, we have a chance of rain. We're going to highlight that at 441.
Breaking overnight, National Security Advisor Michael Flynn resigned. The retired Army general came under fire for conversations he had with Russia's ambassador to the United Nations, all about sanctions on Russia before the president was inaugurated. Flynn initially denied discussing sanctions on Russia, a possible violation of federal law. Last week, he said that he couldn't be sure if the topic came up. The FBI and other intelligence agencies continue their investigation. General Keith Kellogg will be the interim National Security Advisor. He most recently served as National Security Council Chief of Staff.
And sources close to the administration are telling us retired General David Petraeus is headed to the White House today in wake of the Flynn resignation. They're saying Petraeus is making a run for the job, but Petraeus himself has a lot of, quote, baggage. The retired general resigned as the former CIA director in 2012 after he admitted he shared classified information with his biographer. 2 more cabinet secretaries report to work today for President Trump in Washington, D.C. Former banker Steve Mnuchin won a Senate confirmation vote in a 53-47 fashion, mostly along party lines. Only Democratic Senator Joe Manchin broke the party line. Mnuchin is the latest cabinet member to get approval after a Democratic-led and lengthy, at times contentious confirmation process.
The Senate also confirmed David Shulkin to take over as Secretary of the Department of Veterans Affairs. Shulkin is a former Obama administrator official who had served as the VA's top health official since 2015. Before joining the VA, Shulkin was president and CEO of the Beth Israel Medical Center in New York City and also president of the Morristown Medical Center. He was also the chief medical officer at the University of Pennsylvania. A confirmation vote isn't looking promising for President Trump's labor secretary nominee, fast food executive Andrew Pulitzer. 4 Republican senators said they might not support Hardee's CEO Andrew Pulitzer for that position. Republicans aren't expecting any Democrats to vote for Pulitzer, so they'll need at least to hold 50 Republicans for a confirmation vote to go through.
From the live desk this morning, we're still following the evacuations that are still in place after the Oroville Dam in California began spilling over early Monday morning. Take a look. This is water spilling onto the highway now, rushing onto the roadway. And take a look. Now the dam is threatening to flood nearby towns. Nearly 200,000 panicked residents were told to get up and get out Sunday. Now, surrounding the lake area, that's where the main concern is. Authorities say the goal is to drop the lake water levels 50 feet before the next rain hits tomorrow.
This is still a dynamic situation. It's still a situation we're trying to assess the damage, and we need to have time to make sure that before we allow people back into those areas, it is safe to do so. So I want to make it clear. The evacuation is still in effect.
Yeah, a very dangerous situation. You see crews assessing the damage there. We know crews are loading rocks for emergency repairs as residents seek shelter somewhere else.
35, and now for you this morning, profanities and slang spray painted right onto the side of a church. This is the newest video we're getting from the Church of Christ on Buckingham Road in Lee County. You can see the vandalism. Crime Stoppers has a $1,000 reward for information right now that can identify the suspects. Their number 1-800-780-TIPS. Now, investigators think this happened around the same time as a criminal couple was tagging about 30 cars in neighboring Lehigh Acres. Crime Stoppers saying 2 neighborhoods got hit over the weekend. You can see some of the damage done. Cars are marked with giant X's or the words cheater on them, sometimes liar. And here's surveillance video of the suspects that hopefully can be used to identify them. They're saying their car was small, a dark sedan, and probably has some orange spray paint residue on the passenger side of it.
The popular show Cops is set to start filming in Fort Myers next week. City leaders approved this project last month, but not without some critics. Some residents and commissioners thought that the show could give Fort Myers a bad reputation. Mayor Randy Henderson was against the film crew coming to the city of Palms, but then changed his mind after Police Chief Derek Diggs said having the show in town could actually be a good thing for transparency.
It is good for morale. It gives our FMPD an opportunity to be highlighted for good police work. It shows criminals that we're not going to mess around.
Cops filmed in Lee County multiple times in the past, most recently in 2015. This will be their first time here since the ZombieCon and Club Blue shootings, though. Check our Wink News Facebook page later this morning. We do want to hear your opinion on this issue.
An accused killer going to take the stand this morning at a Punta Gorda murder trial. David McManus has stood in front of the judge already to say he won't hide behind his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent when he testifies in his own defense. 19-year-old Tara Siderovich disappeared in 2001, and McManus is alleged to have kidnapped and killed her after coming to her home to do some plumbing work. The defense attorneys also recalled Tara's mother, Sharon Ord, to the stand as part of their defense. She was emotional, recounting the moment she knew something horrible had happened to her daughter.
At the moment that I got the phone call at work, I knew that moment. I cried the whole ride home and begged, please don't let nothing be wrong.
McManus is the second man to go on trial for Tara's death. His co-defendant, Philip Barr, already convicted last year and sentenced to life in prison.
One of the many perks of living here in Florida is baseball games before it's even baseball season. Spring training is almost here, and today the players are getting ready to play. Wink News reporter Nicole Valdez is live from JetBlue Park, where the Red Sox will soon be warming up. Good morning.
Good morning, Jen. The Boston Red Sox, a big day for them as well as their fans. It's the start of spring training, kicking off with the first workouts this season. Now, this is something people have been waiting all year to start. We even have some RVs camped out here waiting for the doors to open this morning. 29 pitchers and 6 catchers will be taking the field at Fenway South this morning. It all starts at 9:30. It's open to the public and it's free if you want to come down and enjoy the kickoff of spring training here in Southwest Florida. Now, speaking of which, if you're a fan of any other teams, the Tampa Bay Rays also have their first workouts this morning at Charlotte Sports Park, and the Minnesota Twins will have theirs starting tomorrow at Hammond Stadium. Now, the Red Sox spring training games kick off on February 23rd. They'll actually be taking on the Minnesota Twins on Saturday. Now, if you want to look at a full schedule of games for this season, you can visit our website, weeknews.com. We'll be out here starting at 9:30 and give you a live report and a live look at the workouts. So live in Fort Myers, I'm Nicole Valdez, Week News now.
There are new developments this morning. A man accused of being involved in the disappearance of Diana Alvarez. We'll tell you what those details are just ahead.
Plus, 2 girls accused of stabbing their friend in the name of a fictional internet meme are in court.
Planning a night out? Wink News meteorologist Matt Davidson with that forecast to make sure your Valentine's Day goes as you plan. It's now 4:39.